Ever stop to think about what the actual blueprint for, well, you looks like? You know, the fundamental code that decides everything from the color of your eyes to how you think? Well, today we're cracking open that exact code, DNA. Seriously, think about it for a second. If you were a really complex five-star meal, what would that master recipe be? The one with every single instruction for putting you together, from the basics all the way down to the tiniest details. Well, that master recipe, it's this incredible molecule called DNA. You can think of it as the ultimate instruction manual for pretty much every living thing on Earth. Okay, so let's get a little more specific. We throw this term DNA around all the time, but what is it really? And what do those three little letters actually stand for? Here we go, deoxyribonucleic acid. Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know, but the concept itself is actually pretty simple. It's the molecule that holds all the information, everything needed to build an organism and keep it running. It is, quite literally, the code for life. Now, if you have an instruction book this important, you're not just going to leave it lying around, right? It's got to be stored somewhere super safe. So where exactly is this blueprint hidden? And it absolutely is. DNA is tucked away deep inside the nucleus of our cells. It's like a priceless ancient text locked away in a high-security vault. And every single one of your trillions of cells has its own copy of this master plan, all protected and ready to go. And get this, it's not just a human thing, not even close. This exact same kind of blueprint is the foundation for plants, for animals, and, of course, for you. It's the universal language of life on this planet. All right, let's put on our microscopic goggles and zoom way, way in. We know what DNA is, and we know where to find it, but what is this incredible molecule actually made of? What are its building blocks? You know, what's so wild is how simple it is at its core. DNA is built from just three main parts: a sugar, a phosphate, and something we call a base. That's it. These three simple ingredients create that whole famous double helix structure. Okay, and this is where it gets really cool. That third part, the base, comes in four different types, which we just call A, T, C, and G. I want you to think of these as the four letters of the genetic alphabet. Every single instruction manual for every living thing is written using just these four letters. It's amazing. So you're probably thinking, wait a minute, how can just four letters create the unbelievable complexity of a human being or a tree or anything else? How does this recipe book actually work? The secret is all in the order. The specific sequence of all those A's, T's, C's, and G's forms the words and sentences that tell your cells how to build proteins. And proteins are the tiny little machines that do pretty much all the heavy lifting in your body. So let's just circle back to that recipe book idea, because it is the perfect way to think about it. The DNA is the book. The specific sequence of the letters, those A's, T's, C's, and G's, they form the instructions on each and every page. And those instructions tell your body exactly what to build and when. It's that direct. Okay, everything we've talked about so far, it's all leading up to this one final, absolutely mind-blowing fact about you, me, and every other person on this planet. Just look at this number for a second, 99.9%. What in the world could that possibly mean when we're talking about something as unique and personal as our own DNA? Believe it or not, that is the percentage of your DNA that is 100% identical to every single other person on the planet. Genetically, we are almost entirely the same. I mean, just let that sink in for a minute. All of the incredible diversity we see in humanity, all our different looks, our talents, our personalities, all of it comes from that tiny, tiny 0.1% of our genetic code. The other 99.9%, that's our shared story. And that leaves us with this incredible question to think about. If that tiny fraction of a percent is enough to create every unique person who has ever lived, just imagine the profound, incredible stories that must be written in the massive library of DNA that all of us share. What does it really mean that we are, quite literally, 99.9% the same?